Poems of pleasure, achievement, trust in thine own untried capacity, as thou wouldst trust in God Himself. Thy soul is but an emanation from the whole. Thou dost not dream what forces lie in thee, vast and unfathomed as the grandest sea. Thy silent mind over diamond caves may roll. Go, seek them, but let pilot will control those passions which thy favoring winds can be. No man shall place a limit in thy strength. Such triumphs as no mortal ever gained may yet be thine if thou wilt but believe in thy Creator and thyself. At length, some feet will tread all heights, now unattained. Why not thine own? Press on, achieve, achieve. Answered prayers. I prayed for riches and achieved success. All that I touched turned into gold. Alas, my cares were greater and my peace was less when that wish came to pass. I prayed for glory, and I heard my name sung by sweet children and by hoary men. But the hurts that came with fame. I was not happy then. I prayed for love and had my heart's desire through quivering heart and body and through brain. There swept the flame of its devouring fire, and but the scars remain. I prayed for a contented mind. At length, great light upon my darkened spirit burst. Great peace fell on me also, and great strength. Oh, had that prayer been first. At an old drawer, before the scarf was faded, what hours of mirth it knew, how gaily it paraded for smiling eyes to view. The days were tinged with glory, the nights too quickly sped, and life was like a story where all the people wed. Before this rosebud wilted, how passionately sweet the wild waltz swelled and lilted in time for flying feet. How loud the bassoons muttered, the horns grew madly shrill, and oh, the vows lips uttered that hearts could not fulfill. before this fan was broken, behind its lace and pearl, what whispered words were spoken, what hearts were in a whirl, what homesteads were selected in Face's realms of Spain, what castles were erected without a room for pain. When this odd glove was mated, how thrilling seemed the play. Maybe our hearts are sated, they tire so soon today. Oh, shut away those treasures, they speak the dreary truth. We have outgrown the pleasures and keen delights of youth. Belief, the pain we have to suffer seems so broad, set side by side with this life's narrow span. We need no greater evidence that God has some diviner destiny for man. He would not deem it worthy his while to send such crushing sorrows as pursue us here, unless beyond this fleeting journey's end our chastened spirits found another sphere. So small this world, so vast its agonies, a future life is needed to adjust these ill-proportioned, wide discrepancies between the spirit and its frame of dust. So, when my soul writhes with some aching grief, and all my heartstrings tremble at the strain, my reason lends new courage to belief, and all God's hidden purposes seem plain. Blasé, the world has outlived all its passion. Its men are inane and blasé. Its women mere puppets of fashion. Life now is a comedy play. Our Abelard sighs for a season, then yields with decorum to fate. Our Helios listens to reason and seeks a new mate. Our Romeo's flippant emotion grows pale as the summer grows old. Our Juliet proves her devotion by clasping a cup filled with gold. Vain Antony boasts of his favors from fair Cleopatra the frail, and the death of the sorceress savors less of asp than of ale. With the march of bold civilization, great loves and great faiths are downtrod. They belong to an era and nation all fresh with the imprint of God. High culture emasculates feeling. The overtaught brain robs the heart, and the shrine now where mortals are kneeling is a commonplace mart. Our effeminate fathers and brothers keep carefully out of life's storm. From the ladylike minds of our mothers, we are taught that to feel is bad form. Our worshippers now and our lovers are calmly devout with their brains, and we laugh at the man who discovers warm blood in his veins. But you, O twin souls, passion-mated, who love as the gods loved of old, what blundering destiny fated your lives to be cast in this mold, like a lurid volcano upheaval, in pastures prosaic and gray. You seem with your fervors primeval among us today. You dropped from some planet of splendor, perhaps as it circled afar, and your constancy swerveless and tender, you learned from the course of that star. Fly back to its bosom, I warn you, as back to the ark flew the dove. The minions of earth will but scorn you, because you can love. Deathless, there lies in the center of each man's heart a longing and love for the good and pure, and if but an atom or larger part, I tell you, this shall endure after the body has gone to decay. Yes, after the world has passed away. The longer I live, the more I see of the struggle of souls toward the heights above. The stronger this truth comes home to me, that the universe rests on the shoulders of love, a love so limitless, deep and broad, that men have renamed it and called it God. Nothing that ever was born or evolved, nothing created by light or force, but deep in its system there lies dissolved a shining drop from the great love source, a shining drop that shall live for though kingdoms may perish and stars decay. Love much, love much. Earth has enough of bitter in it. cast sweets into the cup whene'er you can. No heart so hard, but love at last may win it. Love is the grand primeval cause of man. All hate is foreign to the first great plan. Love much, your heart will be led out to slaughter on altars built of envy and deceit. Love on, 'tis bread upon the water. It shall be cast in loaves, yet at your feet. Unleavened manna, most divinely sweet. Love much, your faith will be dethroned and shaken, your trust betrayed by many a fair false lore. Remount your faith and let new trust awaken. Though clouds obscure them, yet the stars are pure. Love is a vital force and must endure. Love much. Men's souls contract with cold suspicion. Shine on them with warm love, and they expand. 'Tis love, not creeds, that from a low condition leads mankind up to heights supreme and grand. Oh, that the world could see and understand. Love much. There is no waste in freely giving. More blessed is it, even, than to receive. He who loves much alone finds life worth living. Love on through doubt and darkness, and believe there is no thing which love may not achieve. New Year. As the old year sinks down in time's ocean, stand ready to launch with the new, and waste no regrets, no emotion, as the masts and the spars pass from view. Weep not if some treasures go under and sink in the rotten ship's hold. That blithe bonny bark sailing yonder may bring you more wealth than the old. For the world is forever improving. All the past is not worth one today, and whatever deserves our true loving is stronger than death or decay. Old love, was it wasted devotion? Old friends, were they weak or untrue? Well, let them sink there in mid-ocean and gaily sail on to the new. Throw overboard toil misdirected. Throw overboard ill-advised hope, with aims which your soul has detected. Have self as their center and scope. Throw overboard useless regretting, for deeds which you cannot undo, and learn the great art of forgetting old things which embitter the new. Sing, who will of dead years departed. I shroud them and bid them adieu. And the song that I sing, happy-hearted, is a song of the glorious new. No classes. No classes here. Why? That is idle talk. The village beau sneers at the country boor. The importuning mendicants who walk our city's streets despise the parish poor. The daily toiler at some noisy loom holds back her garments from the kitchen aid. Meanwhile, the latter leans upon her broom, unconscious of the bow the laundress made. The grocer's daughter eyes the farmer's lass with haughty glances, and the lawyer's wife would pay no visit to the trading class if policy were not her creed in life. The merchant's son nods coldly at the clerk, the proud possessor of a pedigree ignores the youth whose father rose by work. The title-seeking maiden scorns all three. The aristocracy of blood looks down upon the nouveau rich, and in disdain the lovers of the intellectual frown on both and worship at the shrine of brain. No classes here, the clergyman has said. We are all one family. Yet see his rage and horror when his favorite son would wed some pure and pretty player on the stage. It is the vain but natural human way of vaunting our weak selves, our pride, our worth. No, not till the long-delayed millennial day shall we behold no classes on God's earth. Now, one looks behind him to some vanished time and says, "Ah, I was happy then, alack. I did not know it was my life's best prime. Oh, if I could go back." Another looks with eager eyes aglow to some glad day of joy that yet will dawn, and sighs, I shall be happy then, I know. Oh, let me hurry on. But I look out on my fair today. I clasp it close and kiss its radiant brow. Here with the perfect present, let me stay, for I am happy now. Resolve. As the dead year is clasped by a dead December, so let your dead sins with your dead days lie. A new life is yours, and a new hope. Remember, we build our own ladders to climb to the sky. Stand out in the sunlight of promise, forgetting whatever the past held of sorrow or wrong. We waste half our strength in a useless regretting. We sit by old tombs in the dark too long. Have you missed in your aim? Well, the mark is still shining. Did you faint in the race? Well, take breath for the next. Did the clouds drive you back? But see yonder, their lining. Were you tempted and fell? Let it serve for a text. As each year hurries by, let it join that procession of skeleton shapes that march down to the past, while you take your place in the line of progression with your eyes on the heavens and your face in the blast. I tell you, the future can hold no terrors for any sad soul why the stars revolve. If he will stand firm on the grave of his errors, and instead of regretting, resolve. It is never too late to begin rebuilding. Though all into ruins your life seems hurled. For see how the light of the new year is gliding, the wan, worn face of the bruised old world. Secret thoughts. I hold it true that thoughts are things endowed with bodies, breath, and wings, and that we send them forth to fill the world with good results or ill. That which we call our secret thought speeds to the earth's remotest spot and leaves its blessings or its woes like tracks behind it as it goes. It is God's law, remember it. In your still chamber as you sit, with thoughts you would not dare have known, and yet comrades when alone. These thoughts have life, and they will fly, and leave their impress by and by, like some marsh breeze whose poisoned breath breathes into homes its fevered breath. And after you have quite forgot, or all overgrown some vanished thought, back to your mind to make its home, a dove or raven, it will come. Then let your secret thoughts be fair. They have a vital part and share in shaping worlds and molding fate. God's system is so intricate. The fault of the age. The fault of the age is a mad endeavor to leap to heights that were made to climb by a burst of strength of a thought most clever. We plan to forestall and outwit time. We scorn to wait for the thing worth having. We want high noon at the day's dim dawn. We find no pleasure in toiling and saving, as our forefathers did in the old times gone. We force our roses before their season to bloom and blossom for us to wear, and then we wonder and ask the reason why perfect buds are so few and rare. We crave the gain, but despise the getting. We want wealth, not as reward, but dower, and the strength that is wasted in useless fretting would fell a forest or build a tower to covet the prize, yet to shrink from the winning, to thirst for glory, yet fear to fight. Why, what can it lead to at last but sinning, to mental languor and moral blight? Better the old slow way of striving and counting small gains when the year is done, than to use our force and our strength in contriving and to grasp for pleasure we have not won. The way of it. This is the way of it, wide world over. One is beloved, and one is the lover. One gives, and the other receives. one lavishes all in a wild emotion. One offers a smile for a life's devotion. One hopes and the other believes. One lies awake in the night to weep, and the other drifts off in a sweet, sound sleep. One soul is aflame with a godlike passion, and one plays with love in an idler's fashion. One speaks and the other hears. One sobs, "I love you," and wet eyes show it. And one laughs lightly and says, "I know it," with smiles for the other's tears. One lives for the other and nothing beside, and the other remembers the world is wide. This is the way of it, sad earth over. The heart that breaks is the heart of the lover, and the other learns to forget. For what is the use of endless sorrow? Though the sun goes down, it will rise tomorrow, and life is not over yet. Oh, I know this truth, if I know no other, that passionate love is pain's own mother. There comes a time to every mortal being, whate'er his station or his lot in life, when his sad soul yearns for the final freeing from all this jarring and unceasing strife. There comes a time when, having lost its savor, the salt of wealth is worthless, when the mind grows wearied with the world's capricious favor and sighs for something that it cannot find. There comes a time when, though kind friends are thronging about our pathway with sweet acts of grace, we feel a vast and overwhelming longing for something that we cannot name or place. There comes a time when, with earth's best love by us, to feed the heart's great hunger and desire, we find not even this can satisfy us. The soul within us cries for something higher. What greater proof need we that we inherit a life immortal in another sphere? It is the homesick longing of the spirit that cannot find its satisfaction here. Two sinners. There was a man, it was said one time, who went astray in his youthful prime Can the brain keep cool and the heart keep quiet when the blood is a river that's running riot? And boys will be boys, the old folks say, and a man is the better who'd had his day. The sinner reformed, and the preacher told of the prodigal son who came back to the fold, and Christian people threw open the door with a warmer welcome than ever before. Wealth and honor were his to command, and a spotless woman gave him her hand, and the world strewed their pathway with blossoms abloom, crying, God bless lady and God bless groom. There was a maiden who went astray in the golden dawn of her life's young day. She had more passion and heart than head. She followed blindly where fond love led, and love unchecked is a dangerous guide to wander at will by a fair girl's side. The woman repented and turned from sin, but no door opened to let her in. The preacher prayed that she might be forgiven, but told her to look for mercy in heaven. For this is the law of the earth, we know, that the woman is stoned while the man may go. A brave man wedded her after all, but the world said, frowning, we shall not call. What love is. What love is. Love is the center and circumference, the cause and aim of all things. 'Tis the key to joy and sorrow, and the recompense for all the ills that have been or may be. Love is as bitter as the dregs of sin, as sweet as clover honey in its cell. Love is the password whereby souls get in to heaven, the gate that leads sometimes to hell. Love is the crown that glorifies, the curse that brands and burdens. It is life and death. It is the great law of the universe, and nothing can exist without its breath. Love is the impulse which directs the world, and all things know it and obey its power. Man in the maelstrom of his passion's world, the bee that takes the pollen to the flower, the earth uplifting her bare, pulsing breast to fervent kisses of the amorous sun, each but obeys creative love's behest, which everywhere instinctively is done. Love is the only thing that pays for birth or makes death welcome. Oh, dear God above, this beautiful but sad, perplexing earth, pity the hearts that know or know not love. Whatever is best. I know as my life grows older and mine eyes have clearer sight, that under each rank wrong somewhere there lies the root of right, that each sorrow has its purpose, by the sorrowing oft unguessed, but as sure as the sun brings morning, whatever is best. I know that each sinful action, as sure as the night brings shade, is somewhere, sometime punished, though the hour be long delayed. I know that the soul is aided sometimes by the heart's unrest, and to grow means often to suffer, but whatever is best. I know there are no errors in the great eternal plan, and all things work together for the final good of man. And I know when my soul speeds onward in its grand eternal quest, I shall say as I look back earthward, whatever is best. Woman, give us that grand word, woman, once again, and let's have done with lady. One's a term full of fine force, strong, beautiful, and firm, fit for the noblest use of tongue or pen, and one's a word for lackeys. One suggests the mother, wife, and sister, one the dame, whose costly robe mayhap gives her the name. One word upon its own strength leans and rests, the other minces tiptoe. Who would be the perfect woman must grow brave of heart and broad of soul to play her troubled part well in life's drama, while each day we see the perfect lady, skilled what to do and what to say, grace in each tone and act. 'Tis taught in schools, but needs some native tact. Yet, narrow in her mind as in her shoes, give the best place then to the nobler phrase, and leave the lesser word for lesser praise.